Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci fi show where things can get totally radical. Now, today I will be interviewing a Bay Area comedy peer and friend of mine, and that is Alyssa Westerlund. She is a very funny, very quirky comedian in the Bay Area, and don't know too much about her, and I'm very intrigued, and she is very mysterious. I want to find out a little bit more about her. And yeah, so without further ado, my interview today is Alyssa Westerlund. Alyssa?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much for taking the time today. Um, so, first, I'd like to know what was your childhood like? Did you always know you wanted to do comedy?
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, I mean, my brother and I, Scott, we were kind of like obsessed with Wayne's World. I mean, we didn't really
Yeah.
understand the majority of it, but we would do skits from any comedy that we saw, and we would terrorize our family members with that. Told a lot of fat jokes at a young age, not knowing exactly who I was offending. So yeah, I mean, Scott and I would perform a lot. I've always been a performer.
Mhm. Yeah, me too. I used to put on imaginary Saturday Night Live sketches for my family after dinner and play all these different characters and make my own costumes and stuff. So I could relate to that.
Right. Yeah. Costuming. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, we would definitely would do like dance routines for people. We'd write songs. I'd get all the kids in my class to do a performance. Because I was the class president or whatever. I was definitely that kid. I was the kid who was an overachiever, and the teacher really liked. So the teacher would give me 15 minutes at the beginning of class to do whatever I wanted, and we would just get all the kids.
Yeah.
We get all whoever wanted to do the routine or sing the song would do it, and that was always fun.
Right. So you were always funny. Did you get your humor from your parents?
Yeah, sure, definitely. I mean, my parents, we didn't have a TV, so there was a lot of stuff like I didn't grow up watching SNL. I mean, I saw a few episodes here and there over the span of my lifetime. I still don't watch TV. So there's like a lot of that kind of stuff. Like we would watch funny movies, watch a lot of Steve Martin. So,
Hmm.
but I think I got it from them. And then I mean, Jim Carrey, I would just watch him. I mean, he was a god, and
Yep.
there were just these guys, Eddie Murphy, you're just like, oh my fucking god, Dan Aykroyd and Bill
Yep.
Murray, and it's like, oh god, who else? Lily Tomlin, love the shit out of her. Dolly Parton is funny as fuck. Joan Rivers, like all those old school, Bette Midler,
Yep.
um, just those like they're funny ass people. They were just good at comedy. What was the other guy's name? I mean, Steve Martin, just anything he ever did, Same with
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd back in the day, Bill Murray, they just all, just like watching that stuff. So for my parents told a lot of sex jokes. Um, my mom didn't really even get that she was doing it. And my dad definitely knew what he was doing. I mean, it just, that's, my dad's always told street jokes, and he's a contractor, and he was like a local hero to everybody, because he was the
Yeah.
guy who would go put the fire out with the backhoe and save everybody's horses. So everywhere I went, my dad was just schmoozing and flirting with everybody, and he always had jokes. He always had a joke for everybody. And it would be like, I'd go around working with him, and we'd go to all these suppliers, and he would tell the same joke at every place. And then
Yeah.
next week he would have a new joke when he came through. So he was kind of known for telling these really awful, totally sexual street jokes, which, I mean, they're
Yep.
just dumb, like how something, how big is Jesus' dick? Well, he's hung like this, or whatever it is. You know, like,
Yeah.
he would cover my ears, and he would cover my ears and tell me, you know, like, you know, don't listen. And he would like, kind of squeeze my head with his hand. And, anyway, I'm getting another call, whatever. And then I got old enough, he was like, okay, put your hands on your head. And then, so then I closed my own ears, you know, and I would hear every single joke, every single time. I mean, you know, there was a couple, the first street joke I really heard from him was the one about the preacher going over to the neighbor's house, you know, there's this party we're throwing.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, what, you know, preacher throwing a party, what kind of fucking party is this? And the preacher's like, oh, there's going to be lots of booze. There's going to be lots of booze. And the guy's like, whoa, you drink? Okay, that sounds cool. What else? Oh, there's going to be lots of baseball. And he's like, okay, I like baseball. What else is at this party? He's like, well, there's going to be a lot of sex. He's like, holy shit, preacher, you know how to party. Who's coming to this thing? And the preacher says, well, so far, just you and me.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
That was a good, you know, it was a good joke. And I remember telling it to my friends when I was like 9 or 10, and all of them just being shocked, you know, like,
Yeah.
what? Oh my God, where did you hear that? You know, it was like the dirtiest thing. This is like pre-internet, right? So we're not just, you know, we don't have just sexualized, you know, memes or whatever. We can't just Google this shit. It was definitely the dirtiest thing that they had ever heard. And so I wanted to keep supplying them with jokes, you know, in a weird, I mean, it wasn't really a conscious thing. It was just the way my dad navigated through the world. And, you know, everybody loved him. So I thought, well, if I just act like him, you know, I'll just charm my way through life and everything will be great, but I got to have some jokes. You know, I need some jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds very similar to my background. Lots of dirty jokes in my family, you know, lots of just love and comedy in my family has always been there, you know, so it's pretty similar, and we're pretty similar in age and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, how old are you?
I'm going to be 35 tomorrow.
Hell yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Fucking A. Happy, do you have plans for your birthday?
Probably going to go see a movie and maybe have a cake. I don't know yet.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't do anything for my birthday. I'm not a big celebrator. It's December 22nd, so it's the world's easiest birthday to forget. And, you know.
That's the day after.
This last year, I think I drove for 6 hours on my birthday, and then I asked for steak. My dad was like, what do you want for your birthday dinner? And I was like, I want steak. And he made chilaquiles instead. So, but it was delicious. It was fucking delicious, and, yeah. Okay, how do I need to put you on speakerphone? Because my phone's going to die. Okay. And that was bad planning on my part.
My brother's birthday is December 21st.
There we go. Can you still hear me?
Yep, I sure can.
Good. Okay, groovy.
Yeah, my brother's birthday is December 21st.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, okay. So what do they do for his birthday?
I don't know, we tried to, like, you know, wait until Christmas a few days later to give him presents. That's pretty much how we celebrate his birthday.
Awesome. Yeah, dude. Okay. Texting. Oh, God. So, yeah.
Did you love Did you love stand up as a kid?
I never saw it. Because I didn't have TV. I wasn't really aware of stand-up, except my mom was obsessed with Seinfeld. Mm-hmm. And, you know, so this was actually, we did have so our TV, we had a television set. It just didn't work. And so there was one channel that did come through, and it happened to be whatever channel was playing Seinfeld at the time. So it was the one thing we were really allowed to watch. And we didn't understand that shit at all. But I would see Seinfeld do his set, you know, at the beginning, mm-hmm. and go, you know, and I kind of was like, and it never seemed that funny to me. So, you know, and Mom said, you know, oh, well, you know, that's, you know, whatever, you know, you're not in the audience, not not the funny part, And the show, we love the show mainly just because Mom loved the show, and she wouldn't watch anything else. So we would just get into how much Mom would just be digging all these jokes. She's kind of a New Yorker, a bit of a New Yorker, and so she was just totally into it. And then we would watch that. But I didn't really even know stand-up was a thing until I was in my late teens. I had never seen a live performance. It was mainly just funny movies, because my dad loved comedies and action films, and my mom wouldn't watch the movie because she'd say she'd seen it before. She would always say, "Oh, I've already seen this movie." And we're like, "Mom, this movie just came out." And she was like, "Yeah, but I know the plot. I know I've seen it before." And so she wouldn't watch anything.
Yeah.
So we just, so it was Dad's pick every time. And Dad, it was either we were going to watch some kind of hardcore military film or something with cowboys and Indians or a comedy. So
Yeah.
I mean, I got into Lonesome Dove for like 2 seconds, and then I wanted to shoot myself,
Yeah, that shows.
Dr. Zhivago, too. I mean, that Dr. Zhivago, if you have, oh my God, that one, this brutal Russian film. I was like, what are we watching? Can we put on fucking Jim Carrey again? I want to watch Ventura. Yeah. So that kind of stuff, I wasn't really exposed until I got older. And I was performing myself, and then I became aware of stand-up as a thing. I never thought I would do it. It was suggested to me at some point, and I was like, what? No fucking way. I don't know. I was like, I don't have any jokes. I'm not funny. The whole thing. I did not think that this is something I could do. I would do monologues, and I would write funny songs, and I did a lot of poetry, and I do plays, and I liked being comic relief, and I liked, I liked having there be humor in what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was probably like, I don't know, 40 or 50 people by the time who, told me I should do stand-up. And, these were like strangers, these were like people I was like, what the fuck? Why does everyone keep telling me to do this?
Yeah.
And it was the only thing I hadn't tried, so I tried it, and I've been doing it ever since.
Well, what year did you start, and where did you start?
I started in it was October of 2011, and I was living in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And I was performing quite a bit there, but mainly monologues and doing more theater stuff and singing, and that was when I got up there, and then I've been doing it ever since. So New York is a funny place. I mean, I wasn't there for very long, so I was really only doing it for, I guess it was, I don't know, I was 5 or 6 months in New York, and then I went to Canada and was doing stand-up in Canada. Mind you, I mean, this is all like within my first year of comedy, and I was terrible. I still don't think I'm that funny, but I was really fucking not funny like 7 years ago. Oh my God. It was, so, I feel like I've done something. There's an accomplishment here. I can't put my finger on it, but...
Were you nervous?
I was nervous, mainly because I hadn't written any jokes, and I didn't know what the fuck I was going to say. And usually, if you're doing theater, or you're doing a monologue, or you're singing a song, this is all stuff you've totally memorized,
Right.
Even when I did poetry, I would recite it. I would never read it. I thought it was bullshit to read something on stage. So, for some reason, I think a lot of young comics think that they can just get up on stage and say funny stuff. And for me, it was an open mic. It wasn't something I thought I would ever do again. And I was like, you know what? I'll come up with something. And it was totally an arrogant fucking thing to think. I did get a laugh. I got a laugh, and I remember, just getting off stage and being like, oh man, that sucked. Like, you really sucked at that, but I know you could get better. And so I went out the next night and I went to another open mic, and then I ended up going to 2 or 3 that same night, and then that became my life. You know, like, it was very fast. I think I just was like, oh my god, yeah, this really was. I don't know. There was something about how agonizing it was, and like that I actually enjoyed. I was like, oh my god, I suck. Can I get better at this? And so far I've done that. I've gotten better, but it's yeah, it was so fun. It is a big risk. I don't think it's fucking brave, but it is a big risk.
Yeah, it certainly is. I've been doing it since 2006, and I think I get better and better every time. I just think back to the beginning, and I think to myself, God, what was I doing, at that time and stuff.
Yeah. It's always just kind of like, what the fuck were you talking about? And then, I was surrounded by dudes, and, it was even more dude-centric then, and, the guys, most comedians are not, like, savvy human beings. These are fucking,
Nope.
like, some of the most inept humans you could possibly get in a room together, and
Yep.
so the open mics, like, I remember some of them would be, like, in bars where there was actually an influx of other people, but there were a couple that were at, like, the UCB theater, Upright Citizens Brigade,
Yep.
in this fucking dark theater, and it's only open mic comedians. It's no one else is there, but there's, like, 40 or 50 of them, and, I think there was one other woman at the time. There's 2, possibly, but not, if you saw another woman, it was like, spotting, a black swan or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, so that was kind of intimidating, because initially I just thought, oh, these fucking people don't like me, and then I realized, no, it was just they don't know how to talk to women. They are socially just inept, and that made it easier once I figured that out.
Yeah. So when did you move to the Bay Area?
I guess we moved here 4 or 5 years ago. I'm not really sure. My timeline's pretty fuzzy. I smoked a joint, but I believe it was 5 years ago. And yeah.
Yeah, because that first time I met you was in 2016 at the Improv Open Mic Showdown. That was the first time I saw you, and you did this. I think you did this bit about smoking weed on stage that night.
Maybe I don't recall any jokes I have about that, but I do tend to change things a lot. So I don't know. I believe that was for because it was for somebody's competition.
Yeah, that was Terry Dorsey's Open Mic Showdown.
No, it wasn't that.
It was. I remember.
Well, it wasn't that I remember, but I mean, because I've only, I don't remember that, but whatever. Same difference, and but I don't remember doing a joke about smoking weed either, so you may have the wrong person.
I swear I.
Yeah, wrong, prank caller. What the fuck? But yeah, no, I don't really. I mean, I probably do talk about smoking weed. I do smoke a lot of marijuana.
Yep.
I think it's good for you, or it can be. I recommend everyone try it.
I agree.
Especially the children. No.
I agree. I'm a marijuana advocate. Big time.
Yeah. No, I mean, if people don't want it, I don't force them to share. But I'm not going to make them smoke the weed. I don't think stoners aren't that aggressive, which is nice. Alcoholics are a lot more aggressive. They're like, do you want to drink? And no. Do you want to drink? No. Do you want to drink? No. Like, they forget that they asked.
Yeah, I'm an alcoholic in recovery, so I can relate to that and stuff. I remember the first time I smoked, right? I was 19. I was at junior college, and these guys I was hanging out with were doing it, right? And I'm about to do it, and I look, and this bully that I had in high school was like 20 feet away with his posse of douchebags, right? And he starts like getting excited and jumping up and down that I'm going to smoke weed, right? And it was so damn funny. And then I see him at a football game like a week later, and I'm like, I did it for you. And then he's like, I know you did. Because in high school they would always offer it to me, and I was always a prude, like, nah, I'm not gonna touch that, you know.
Yeah, don't, yeah. Well, I started smoking weed at a pretty young age. I guess I found my dad's pipe, and,
Hmm.
and I was like, huh, there's a lighter here. I had seen people use this device before, so I was like, I'm going to check this out. And pretty much been stoned ever since. I was like 12 or something, 12 or 13. It's been high since then. It helped me mellow out for sure. It's a good way to come down if you're hyperactive, you know?
Hmm. Absolutely. So have you played the improv or any comedy clubs since?
Well, yeah, theaters. I haven't, I mean, I hardly ever go to, I need to go to the punchline one day. I need to, but yeah, no, I haven't been down to the improv since then. I've just been doing kind of little shows all over, and, yeah,
Yeah.
performing rather regularly. I kind of like smaller venues, and, I don't know why, maybe I'll get out, but, I just do. And I'm not really, there yet. I haven't auditioned for any of that, as far as the punchline goes. Or Cobb's or any, you got to go to the
Yeah.
punchline, and I haven't done any. I have not put in that part of the work. I have been doing other things.
Yeah. I've never really wanted to do it. It's just, I think it's just bullshit to go there every Sunday for a year and wait. You know what I mean? I think they should just do a lottery like LA does. You know?
I mean, I get it because it's about dedication and it's about, and you're trying to put your thing out there. I don't really. I mean, the system is the system, and they got to find whatever works for them. So.
Yeah.
It's just Sundays do not work for me, and they haven't worked for me in a very long time. And so Sundays I'm usually either working or I'm sick of working and I'm done for the weekend, and it's God's day, and I put it, I'm not religious, but I definitely will tell all my employers that I am so I can have that fucking day to myself. So usually, yeah, by Sunday I don't want to do anything but read a book and maybe go for a really long walk and eat something delicious. That's about it.
Yeah. Have you have you played Rooster T.
Yep.
Feathers?
What was it?
Have you played Rooster T. Feathers?
Yeah, not recently. I need to go down there too. I think I'm going on Wednesday or Tommy T's or something. Yeah, I need to go down there. I've been up there at those places. I currently am I'm out of gas. I've been out of gas for a while, just no gas.
Yeah.
So I'm not driving. But, I've been, gone to, yeah, there's places I need to, want to go. Don't really care right now.
Hmm.
Do not care.
Do you get hit on a lot after shows?
Yeah, sure. Doesn't everybody? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, depends. It depends. You figure men must be really bad listeners if they're hitting on me after a show. Did they hear me at all? Were they listening? Were they? I'm pretty sure, actually, that's a joke of mine. I say that on stage. I say I know men are bad listeners because they ask me out after my set.
Hmm.
So, yeah, they're not listening, and they do make that error. I have gone out with men after shows, but usually they just become friends. I convert them.
Yeah.
I'm not religious in the religious sense, but I do convert people to my way of, being. And yeah, I have a partner. At least it's not really something that you can make friends, but you mainly want fans because no drunk person is ever your friend. That's just not where you make friends.
Nope.
You don't make friends at bars. I've tried. I've got hundreds of phone numbers. I just never made a single friend there.
Yep, the worst. I used to work. I worked in bars for 7 years. I'll tell you, got I got so many acquaintances and enemies out of it. I'll tell you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, if anything, I want people to just, come to the next show. I'm not good at advertising that, but I want them to, I want them to have a wonderful time there. I'm not too worried about the future. If they enjoy it, that's great. If
Yeah.
they want to follow me, I'm building a website. I'll do that one day. I'm kind of, I really worry about writing stuff, and then I don't. I don't really give a shit about promoting it right now. It's one of those things. But yeah, you want fans. You don't want boyfriends. I've got a boyfriend. I don't need a boyfriend. That's not something I need.
Yeah. I know. It's funny because female comics, they see my act once and they have this prejudged notion that I'm just like my persona, this sexist, racist, homophobic fanboy who's stuck in the 80s. And consequently, whenever I see a female comic I'd never met before and she's like, learning stand up and stuff, and like I want to like, friend them and teach them the ropes and stuff, but they think I'm hitting on them. And then male comics I have drama with repeat it when I get into a fight with them and shit. And just that's the fucking one thing I hate about comedy is the fucking backstabbing and the gossip.
No, I don't know. I don't really notice. I mean, I think that it's like any other place that you work. There's always
Yep.
going to be gossip and all that kind of stuff, and then you just try to gravitate towards people who aren't those people.
Hmm.
And then eventually all those people find themselves isolated together. They're together, but they're very alone, and so I don't worry about that so much.
Hmm. That's good. Have you mastered crowd work yet?
Mastered it? I don't think that's even a possibility. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you're really trying to be good, you're never going to be good enough. So I don't know what a master is. I don't know what that means.
Well, like, just gotten good at it, you know.
No, no. I mean, yeah. I mean, I know what it means in that sense, but no. I mean, yeah. I'm proficient. For sure, I'm capable. I like doing crowd work. I do a lot, yeah, I do a lot of crowd work. And it's kind of just part of the deal. You have to be able to interact with people. That's
Hmm.
before the show and after the show. There's crowd work throughout the entire experience. So, I mean, if anything, the majority of the crowd work I do is before I ever get on stage. If I can meet the crowd before I go up there, if I can talk to people, I will. And like last show I did, we did Comedy Psychos, Sanford Psychos, probably the best little local show you're gonna ever go to, and it's really really fun.
Hmm.
But you're hanging out, we're smoking. There's weed tent, there's a weed booth, there's beer, and you're drinking, you're hanging out, and you're just talking to everybody there. And I got to meet Bruce, who had a Chihuahua, who had just had surgery on his butt, and so he had a shaved butt. I got to talk about that on stage. And I was doing what do you call that? I was doing reconnaissance before the show, and I
Hmm.
was like, wait a minute, why is that dog's ass shaved? We gotta talk about this. Um, but yeah, I definitely, crowd work. I feel good about it.
Nice, yeah. It's one of my specialties, but I try to do little of it as possible because I want to get my real material out in the open.
Well, I use crowd work to get my jokes there. I mean, there's no crowd work that I'm gonna do that just ends with the crowd having some moment. No, the crowd work is a setup. The crowd work is always part of the joke for me. As far as I don't do crowd work unless I know exactly. I mean, the kind of crowd work I do, it's
Hmm.
always a part of the joke. They are literally, it's like when a band says, I'm going to need your participation right now, or, like, oh, I'm going to need everybody, sing this song, sing this line. I'm basically calling on someone to sing this line with me. Everyone sing along. And, if I preempt them properly, They do exactly what I mean, and that's good crowd work. Is you consistently draw the right reaction from the audience, and then that leads you into this next joke, or that is the joke, whatever it is. But it's never just some loose thing of I don't know what they're gonna say and I don't know how I'm gonna react. It's not some kind of, I'm not riffing when I do crowd work.
Right.
So it's very intentional because I'm not going to give my fucking stage time to some asshole in the fucking crowd who didn't write any of these jokes. I'm not going to lose. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing with crowd work is to be able to maintain control in that position. And if you don't have if you don't go in the right direction, then you don't have any control. And it should always, back up or reinforce your material.
Right.
It should always just be there. It's support. You're getting them involved. I mean, I use guys as examples. I'll point at men in the audience if I'm doing a joke about men. I will use specific people in the audience, and they become my props. And the joke, they don't know the joke. They definitely didn't do whatever the hell I just said they did. And they're shocked, and everyone else is laughing at them, So It's like, and they take it. They take it because they love it, because it wasn't, I didn't call them some kind of terrible name. I, just insinuated that they would have sex with me or something, whatever it is. But, you want to, I love the crowd. I mean, that's like basically the whole thing, so, but working I don't know. I think it can be, dangerous. I don't personally like it when a comedian asks the audience what they do for a living. Yeah, I find it pedantic. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Come up with another goddamn motherfucking question. Ask them what they ate for breakfast, for Christ's sake. Ask them something relevant. Like, I don't give a shit what they do for work. Jobs suck. All of them suck. What am I going to say about this asshole's job? That it sucks. Your job sucks. That's my crowd work for jobs. Okay.
Yeah.
You hate it. I hate it. Everyone hates it. No one likes your job. Okay.
Have you done any comedy festivals or competitions?
I did Sketchfest. I was in Sketchfest this year, and I was in Sketchfest last year. First year I applied, I didn't get accepted, but I had been doing a lot of storytelling shows. So one of the storytelling shows, Body, which is, it's one of the most amazing storytelling shows you'll go to. It's like the original insect storytelling shows. So I got to do that show at the Punchline, which was really, it was incredible. The Sketchfest turnout is incredible. That show was sold out. They had me headline. They had me close it out, which was fun. And then I did Sketchfest last year. I did just a couple shows. They gave me a couple sets, which was great. And again, they were all great shows. So I've done local festivals and stuff. Comedy competitions, I've done a ton of them. But, most of them are kind of tongue-in-cheek. I mean, not a ton. There are some I guess I should do more. They're not really my thing, but I feel like I've done enough of them. I mean, I've done comedy rap battles. I've done comedy roast battles. I've done weird competitions, and it's stage time. So I'll do a competition, but I'm not fucking bringing anybody to that shit.
I'm gonna submit a classic comedy movie screening and Q&A to Sketchfest this year. I'm pretty excited about it, so I hope I get it. Yeah. So
I'll just keep applying, and it's like that's the thing. It's just like, why not apply? I don't know.
Yeah.
If you got the plan, do it.
Yeah. So where do you want to go with your comedy career?
I don't really discuss my goals with people because they're mine. But no, as far as where I want to go, I just want to be the funniest fucking bitch I can be. That's it. That's all I want. If I'm not one of the funniest women alive by the time I'm 40, I have a plan and someone will shoot me. I'm getting shot. That's just, it's like if I don't, so there's really no, there's a plan, but it's none of your business. And but other than that, the plan is just to keep getting better and keep doing it and keep being in love with it and keep having fun with it and keep fucking writing. I mean, I write so much. Sometimes I feel like I'm drowning in a sea of my own dumb ideas. Yeah, that's the part of it. That's just part of it. I have a whole container in my bed. I have a friend over right now. There's a whole box in my bedroom underneath a pile of clothes, and it's a huge crate of notebooks. And so yeah, just keep writing. I mean, I really like that part of it. To me, I think writing a good joke is really hard. Every time I pull it off, and it's like a really good joke, you know, I don't feel like it comes out of fucking thin air, and you're like, all right, boom, that's done. Shot. That joke just appeared before, but actually I wrote a lot of stupid shit, and then finally something congealed and became, you know, a joke that was worth telling people. But, you know, I just write a lot of shit. I write a lot of shit, and it's really bad, you know, like I would say, yeah, definitely 80% of it sucks. 90% of it is illegible. That's the other problem. Like, you can't even actually read most of it. So it's like, but yeah, but there's a good chunk of it that's funny. So yeah, I love writing. I mean, it's just so satisfying to get a really good joke that's unique to me, that's about my life, that's about my story, because everything I say on stage is totally true. It's completely true. I've never, ever lied on stage. I just want to say that again. I've never, ever, will never, couldn't even think of lying. That's not even, just won't even, but no, so I like to tell the truth, and if you can make, like, really brutal, awful things that happen to you funny, I think that's pretty awesome, you know, and because it's like, fuck you, man, I already went through it, you're telling me I can't make a joke about it, you've got to make a joke about it, and, yeah, so when I pull it off, like, lately I've been pulling it off with talking about murder and cults, and I'm like, you know what, yeah, I feel good about that, because that's my life, and, you know, not sad anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the fun part.
Yeah, certainly. What's your favorite joke of all time?
I don't have a favorite anything. I have no favorites except for pumpkin pie. That's like my only favorite. I love pumpkin pie, but it has to be like, you know, homemade pumpkin pie. My mom has to make it. I make the whipped cream. Hand whip that shit. Fucking don't be getting me no Cool Whip. I'll fucking shoot somebody for Cool Whip. That's fucked up. Cool Whip is not a real thing. No one should eat it. Hand whipped cream. But no, favorite joke of all time would probably have to be no, I can't do it. Because I don't want to tell you all my jokes right now. I mean, my favorite jokes are the jokes I wrote, because I you know, it was really hard. But there are so many funny jokes out there. I couldn't pinpoint it.
Yep.
Or maybe that one joke that everyone dies when they hear it. That one. Like, it's a murderous joke. You know, it's the terrorist of all jokes. Oh yeah, Monty Python was great, and Faulty Towers. Those guys always had me cracking up. Faulty Towers is just hilarious. But, that's...
The Germans episode, remember that one?
Which one?
The one with the Germans?
Yeah.
It's my favorite one. I love that. It's one of the fucking funniest sitcom episodes in history.
Right. Yeah, it's good shit. Actually, I was at Clusterfest this weekend, and it was the most comedy I've watched in the last year, because I got so sick of the, like, inundation with everybody's got a Netflix special. It kind of just, it cheapened the whole thing for me, and it also, I wanted to throw up, because I watch comedy every night, no matter what I do. So putting on a comedy was really hard. But going to see other live shows is always my favorite way to view comedy. And Jon Stewart was incredible last night. He was really great. He was a little slow for me, but, you know, he is dying. So that's what old people, they're just slow. They just can't talk very fast, you know, and it takes them a long time to remember the next word they're going to say. And I don't know. But other than that, he was really he was impeccable for, you know, someone who's dying. It's just I don't know how to put it in better words. Like, he's just fucking old, man. That guy's so fucking old. And he was really motivational. He was hyper liberal, but he was also reasonable. And he was talking about, how not all Trump voters are evil, which I thought was something somebody should say because it's true. They're not. There's nothing wrong with those people. They just have different opinions than us. And I mean, I didn't fucking vote at all. So what are you guys gonna do to me, huh? What are you gonna do to me? Yeah. You hate Trump voters. What about the assholes who just didn't vote? You should hate them. Oh God. Yeah, actually, I'm writing that down. Actually, I'm putting that on Facebook, and as soon as we get off the phone.
Okay. Do you have any upcoming gigs you want to plug?
I'm sure I do. Okay, I'm bad at this. Nothing that. Oh, there's gonna be. You know what? Come to Buzzworks on the 26th at 7:15 p.m. I guess I'm gonna be closing that show out, so I'll get 25 minutes or something.
June
To tell you
26th.
guys all disgusting, awful, terrible shit, and make fun of fat people. That's what I'll do. But if someone throws something at me, I'm totally cool with it. I'm a great catch. But that one, so that's called, what is that show called? Buzzworks, 7:15 p.m. Buzzworks is in SF. It's got all this beer. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And then I'm doing Certified Fresh on the 21st of June. This is all in June. That's, I think, at 9 p.m. in Berkeley at a pizza place. Let's see, what else kind of shit can I'll be, there's a lot of little gigs on this calendar that, but yeah, they can just follow me, if whatever, follow me on Facebook, and then people will see my shows, or you can message me and ask me, what am I doing tonight? Which dumb show are you doing tonight, lady? Which dive bar are you going to be at?
Yeah. Well, Alyssa, thank you so much for taking the time. This was a lot of fun and very stimulating, and I hope you break a leg up there.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yep, my pleasure. You have a great night.
Have a great day.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. Alyssa Westerlund. Ain't she a sweetheart? Thank you so much, Alyssa. That was a very stimulating, insightful interview. So, if you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and all of that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes.